Good day to all. This will be the first episode in a series that me and Stain will be doing, just helping lower teams get better in Modern Warfare 3, talking about the game and how to get better, some tutorials. And let's first get started with Stain. Stain, tell us exactly who you are and who you represent.
Well, I'm the captain for the first team in KK. Don't know what else more I can say about that. We played in the NGL, and we played in Modern Warfare 2.
And so this first map that we'll be playing on now, Stain is with me here. We are playing on Seatown, which is one of the maps being considered for league play, or definitely in my case it should be. And general thoughts about the game, first impressions, Stain.
Well, when I first saw it, it looks very similar to Modern Warfare 2. And obviously the peer-to-peer connecting when you play public games is very similar. But like these small changes that they've implemented, like the guns, some of the guns look different. They've added new guns, the sounds are different, but it basically looks like Modern Warfare 2. It just has a little bit of a different feel.
The first thing I've noticed is that movements be made a lot faster, and definitely there is a strafing capability. I mean, I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but I think we tested it earlier, and you can definitely jump further with the strafe.
Yeah, well, it seems a bit faster than Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I think that they've tried to make it similar to COD 4 in the way that it's Modern Warfare 2. And then I suppose the next thing we have to talk about, which is the big discussion topic, which is the FPS lock and the FOV lock. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, it could be a downside in that you know you can't tweak your own settings, but there's also a good that comes from that is that everyone will be playing on the same playing field, because it affects everyone. So you know you can't really like moan about it because everyone else is experiencing the same problem as you.
Alright, and then as we go into the guns, Stain, what are you looking at? I mean, I'm using the UMP-45 at the moment. It seems pretty good, but I have a feeling that these guns are generally way underpowered.
Yeah, well, I think the SMGs need a bit of a buff, but so far the assaults seem really strong. The pistols, in my opinion, are also very underpowered. I don't know if other people experience the same thing, but what they did from Modern Warfare 2 is there was no damage reduction over range. So what would happen is when you shot someone, from no matter how far the distance was, they would die in 2 or 3 bullets, no matter where they were. And in COD 4 it wasn't like that. When you shot someone at a range, it took more bullets to kill them. So they've actually implemented that. So there is a lot of COD 4 aspects that they have put into the game that wasn't in Modern Warfare 2, and they've added dedicated servers for unranked games, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great aspect. I took a look at that earlier. And you can do things such as tweak the guns allowed, and you can tweak the perks that are allowed and things. So it can be.
Yeah, you can restrict the classes. So even without the pro mod out yet, you can force people to not use stuns or use certain guns, because you can restrict the classes and you can actually save them to a setting, so you don't have to do it all over again. You can load up the server and then put that setting in, and then everyone will have to use those settings that you put in.
Alright, so I have to apologize now for all that are watching the gameplay. It is a bit shit because I'm holding in caps lock, so I can't sprint at the same time, but never mind, I hope it's good enough. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, competitive play. I mean, looking at these maps, what do you think the play styles will be? What do you think, will it be a very heavy strat-oriented game, or a fast or a very campy game?
Well, I've seen some of the maps, not all of them are the same, but there's some maps that if you don't get to first, your opponents can exploit it, because some of the maps, some of the areas you actually have to fight for your position. So it'll be a lot of there'll be a lot to do with strat, but I suppose if your players can't outgun the enemy team, you're not going to get to your defensive spots, because there is a lot of maps where you have to fight for the bomb site.
And then talking about this league, apparently NGL have not decided to sign on with Modern Warfare 3. However, DGL have taken their place. So what are your thoughts about this league, Stone?
Well, I'm not too sure if EGL will be able to do the same things what NGL did, but they are more experienced, and I think they will bring a larger group of teams than what NGL would, because DGL is more popular. So I think it's a good thing that DGL took it over. But I know with the prize wise, NGL could have brought I suppose a lot more to the table. I don't know if that is true, but the prizes for Black Ops was really good. And maybe if they could collaborate, then add DGL's prizes and NGL's prizes, so that would be something to think about. But I don't know if they would do that.
One of the Giants' complaints for me was the fact I don't think the NGL League was being run properly. I don't think the admins running it were doing a great job. Maybe just opinion based, but I know a lot of people thought, you know, sort of the same thing. But I think that's one thing that DGL will bring, is a more experienced feel, although it is a new game, so I think time will tell on that part. Now, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, with DGL, I'm not sure how they run it, but is there any players adminning it?
No.
So then that would be better in the first place, because there wouldn't be any... NGL was run on their players participating in the league, so no matter what decision they would make, anyone would see it as biased, because their own teams were in it.
Yeah. Alright, now I'm going to take a giant leap back to what we talked to earlier, which was the sidearm. Now in COD 4 there's been massive outcries in the European community to nerf the deagle, because some players actually elect in COD 4 just to switch to their deagle in situations and stuff like that. Which I think is massively overpowered, and I think it needs a nerf, and I think that might just come out on top in this game. You know, players won't be able to just switch to that deagle and dominate the range and stuff like that. And it will create the balance. You won't be able to cross-map someone with that SMG.
But yeah, the thing is, what I spoke to you guys about as well, they all said that the secondaries are very underpowered, but I said, you know what, if you get close up to in a sniper's face, he is supposed to be at a disadvantage, not an advantage. So you know, when he pulls out that deagle and just still owns you, like that's unfair. And we had the same problem in Black Ops, where the Python did more damage than the SMG at close range, and you could shoot with it faster. So you would be a sniper, you would dominate at long range, and the moment anyone came into close range, you would still kill them with your Python. So it basically, I know in COD 4 the scopes, they can hold their own against any class, because if it comes to close range, they can deagle you, and at far range they can scope you dead. So they put it a great advantage compared to like the SMGs and the assaults.
Alright, now while we're on that topic of scope, I want to talk about the scoping in this game. Now I've tried a little bit, and one thought comes to mind: overpowered. It is ridiculously overpowered. Just the reg you get with the scope and the quick scoping is completely, I don't know, I think it needs to be nerfed quite a bit, and if a pro mod was to come out.
Yeah, probably. I don't know so much for the first sniper, that sniper that you get, which is bolt action. It's the same one in Black Ops. It's not so that strong, but I know the last sniper rifle, the Remington, it's got a really fast fire rate, and it kills nearly on every hit. So I don't know.
Alright, we are back with our second map here on TDM. We're playing a bit of Underground, and I really don't like this map, Stain. I think I played a little bit of S&D on it earlier, and from one thing I noticed, the attack side got into the A-bomb side to pull the defensive side, which I think is really overpowered.
I don't know, on Crossfire it can be like that as well.
Yeah, but I mean in Crossfire there's so much vantage point to stop it. Here, the attack side has the higher ground, and they can just rape you from any angle they want.
I suppose there could also be a good thing that some maps have the attacking side at an advantage and the defending side at a disadvantage, because it would be kind of pointless that you can always knife for sides, but then you're going to choose defense anyway, so maybe when they knife they could choose attack, you know what I mean?
Now I wanted to talk about that a lot. Actually, that was one of my next topics on this video. I want to talk about knifing. Now, I personally really want to see a pistol round instead of a knife round. I think it's so much more balanced.
Yeah, well,
with the lunge and the vanilla.
The knifing, I don't know. I don't think it takes a lot of skill in that. A lot of it is luck. So yeah, and also especially with the lunge, you can be super crap player, and you could press E and you can be nowhere near, or whatever your knife button is, sorry that I said E. You could be nowhere near the guy and you can still hit him, so you'll never be able to judge distance. So it's actually a lot of luck when you, with the lunge in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a chat to someone with the power about that. I would really like to see like a pistol round or something like that, because I mean that requires so much more skill. And I mean you see with the Counter-Strike players, you start seeing like the actual pistol
round, yeah. They have a pistol round to start off with, which is it works better because the guys that win the round can buy better weapons and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Now I wanted to talk about the setup of this game. Now with these maps, I mean, do you think the DGL will stick with the standard COD 4 set that was followed by Black Ops, the 2 SMG, 2 AK, 1 scope?
Well, I hope they do.
So that has been the first episode ever of mine and Stain's series here. Stay tuned for some demo analysis. We're going to have some teams sending in demos and we'll have a look at them, and then we'll do some fragvid review. And of course, also we have a show match coming up soon just to test out the maps and rules and stuff like that. But from myself, Hash, and I'm sure from Stain, thanks for joining us.